3, 2, 1. Advice Hour with Tanya, media's #1 big sister. Yay. You are on the line with Tanya TKO. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What's your name?
My name is Frank.
Oh, nice to meet you, Frank. So tell me, how can I help you this evening?
So I had a question concerning, I've been trying to, support my wife. It's been a year now. She's been trying to get her own business off the ground, and, she has these fits and starts, but it's really not taken off as far as bringing income in. So, I've been trying to support her, paying all the bills, paying all the groceries for us, but at the same time, it feels as though it's like taking a toll on our relationship because I am like constantly stressed out over, okay, not having enough money. As soon as you bring in a paycheck, it's all going out to pay the bills. So what can I do to, help her and obviously help myself as well in this situation?
Okay, and when you say help yourself in what way? Not to be stressed out, to make more money, to help her get a job? Help in what way?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think those three, you nailed it pretty good because I definitely am looking for a second job as far as bringing in a little bit more income, and then definitely, being able to meditate a little bit, something as far as kind of getting my mind off of it because literally that's the big thing that kind of takes up all my mind space.
How long have you two been married?
This is 2 years now.
Of the 2 years, how long has she been trying to get her business off the ground?
A year now. So it's been a year for her without any income. And then she'll obviously tell me that it's been tough for her working hard, trying to get it started, but not bringing in any paychecks. So she also has to deal with that as well. So I do at times have to, take empathy and can't be all about, okay, well, it's all on me because she makes a good point that this is her first time going through a situation like this.
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting a feeling right now, and I'm not sure where this feeling is coming from, but I'm getting a feeling that your wife is, oh man. I'm getting a feeling that, wow, you know what? I don't really know how to say this because it's not a good feeling. I'm getting a feeling that your wife really is not, that she doesn't yet really have the, maybe I should just spit it out. I'm getting the feeling that there's something going on with your wife and this business that she says that she's trying to get off the ground. Something is happening that something is not piecing together on that side with your wife, that there's something going on that she's not well equipped to be able to handle a business, and that she doesn't have any training, she doesn't have the know-how, and she's really kind of like, I'm getting the feeling that she's kind of like spinning her wheels, and that she's, I don't want to say playing games, but I'm getting the feeling that there's something that's not really connecting on that side in terms of wanting to have a business that's really financially successful, or at least having the capacity to make her business financially solvent. And so I'm getting the feeling that that your frustration is justified, and that you should probably have a conversation with your wife about how to kind of go back to basics and how to help get her up to speed with how to run a business, how to take care of a business. I'm getting the feeling that she needs some more training of some sort before she could really, really succeed at an endeavor. And I'm getting a feeling that your wife is really not fully dedicated to, I'm getting a feeling she's not really dedicated to the business craft, that she says that she wants the business, says she wants to be a business owner, but really isn't putting in what she really needs to put in order for the business to be successful. That's the feeling that I'm getting. And when you guys got married, what was the plan in terms of income? What was the plan in terms of who's supposed to bring in money, who's going to be working? What was the plan?
Well, it's funny because as soon as you decided to not beat around the bush, your feeling of the description is 100% because literally for the last 7 months, she'll kind of be like sulking, and I'll try to encourage her, but she'll be like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if this will ever work. So I think you're right. I think that also plays a part of my frustration, because even when we got together, she was an independent contractor, so she sort of had her own business, but not really, because her friend hired her, so she ran the company. I mean, and really, even the finances of the company, that's why the company went under, because she really mismanaged it. I mean, literally, would buy stuff you didn't need to, would overspend. So, I mean, it was kind of like her friend bankrolled the whole thing. So, not to minimize the impact of an impact, but,
Right.
having your best, that is like an ultimate safety net. So that's why it's really frustrating that and then when I try to send her job links and everything, she gets on this rant where, I've worked for people before, I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, you know what? No, I totally understand that. I'm getting the feeling that what your wife lacks is some sort of training, and that you guys really need to go all the way back to basics and really get her some training, because I get the feeling that she strongly does not want to work for anybody else, but that she completely does not understand what it is that she's doing and what it takes to run a business. And I can understand why you're frustrated. I can feel a lot of frustrated energy coming from you, where you feel like you've been let down, where you feel like you've been, I don't want to say duped or tricked, but you're having a very negative feeling about this situation. And personally, I feel that your negative feeling is very justified in what is being presented to you right now. But there's a way to turn this around. If your wife strongly does not want to work for anybody else, then she will strongly take that passion for not wanting to be an employee, and she will take that into getting herself trained. And you really need to have a conversation with her about your well-being, about a relationship that it consists of two people. She's 50% of the relationship, and you're 50% of the relationship. And a relationship is not about one person bending all the way to the whim of another person, and no matter what this person does, being all right with it because you guys are in a relationship. No, as a matter of fact, being in a relationship means that both partners take a vested interest in the other person's happiness. And if you're the only person thinking about somebody else's happiness, then that's a conversation that you two need to have. Because if your partner is not also willing to do the things that she needs to do to make sure that you're all right, then there's another conversation that you guys need to have about what exactly is going on and how that in and of itself can get rectified. Because there's a disconnect happening, and there's a lot of lack of realism on her part. And if she doesn't get some training, and if she doesn't do the things that she needs to do to get some training, then there's going to be, you guys are heading towards a point of no return. And I think I get the feeling from her that she has had some situations in her past in which she has been abandoned or left, or she has been let down in some sort of way. I'm getting the feeling that in her past that there have been some things that have not really gelled for her in terms of her, how do I put this? I get the feeling that she's used to not having, you see, some of the things that I want to say just don't really, I don't know, it just doesn't sound polite. It doesn't sound polite.
Well, I mean, you can bring it, because what you're saying is so true, because she comes from, her parents abandoned her, so she was raised
Really?
by her grandmother when she was young. So your intuition is spot on. So you can say it.
Okay.
Like I said earlier,
Okay,
when you
well, I'll
not
say
on the
it
bush,
then.
spot on.
Okay, well, I'll say it. I get the feeling that she has come from a past of being abandoned and not really knowing what it's like to have somebody there for her. And I get the feeling that she is purposefully participating in activity that would push you away. so that you would abandon her and she would be like, oh, see, I knew it. I have the feeling that she's purposefully doing this because deep inside, that's what feels normal to her. That she doesn't really know how to deal with the situation, and she doesn't really know how to show up and be there for a person in the same way that they will be there for her, that she is actually engaging on this merry-go-round of putting this stuff out there to push you away as a way for you to prove that you're not going to abandon her. But the more stuff that she does, the more she makes it likely that you are going to abandon her. So this is a situation that she's creating and perpetuating because, so I get the feeling that you really need to have a conversation with her. And what would be best for you to do right now? I get the feeling that it would be best for you to sit her down and have a conversation with her about the abandonment, and really have a conversation with her about showing up in the relationship in a way that you need her to show up. And if I were you, I would discuss with her some of the things that took place in your life when you were a child, and how this situation is replicating some things for you that don't feel comfortable for you, and that you're really put in a position of strain that is hampering your health, hampering, your ability to really be there for her in the way that she needs you to be. Because, like with love is like a well. You have to, or a cup, you have to keep like a cup with like a strainer on the bottom. And like love, like these loving relationships, each person has to keep feeding into it. It's like a shower. People, I once had an associate. Well, we were kind of friends, right? And he had this job, and I saw him a few different times. And every time that I saw him, his uniform was dirty. And I was like, your uniform is becoming filthy. And he was like, what's the point in washing it if it's just going to get dirty again? No. No. So like with relationships, you have to continue to put it in, because you have to continue to fill it up and build it up and keep it built up. Otherwise, the bottom will drain out of it. And so you really need to talk to your wife about really putting back into the relationship and really working on some of her abandonment issues and really getting her some training, because if she wants to be successful at business, she's going to have to get some training. Okay?
That sounds good. I appreciate you leveling with me and saying it like it is, because literally we'll be having an argument, and then she'll be like, after we were done, weren't you about to hit me? Because that's what her family life is. I'm like, no, that never even crossed my mind.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, there's a lot of deep hurt going on there. And you know what? When was the last time you two went on vacation together?
Man, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I would try to find a way. Maybe you can have a staycation. I know money is really tight. Maybe a weekend away, because I get the feeling that you two really need to spend some time repairing the relationship, and that you really need to cement in her mind that you're there for her and that you are in the relationship for keeps, that for you, marriage is forever. And that I get the feeling that when you got married, that you got married forever, that you did not plan on ever getting a divorce, that you planned on being there till the dying day. That's the feeling that I get. I don't know what your background was like, but that's the feeling that I get. So I would have a conversation with her. I would really remove what my intuition is telling me is that you two need to leave the surroundings and spend some time together and start talking about how you can make it work. And right now, because your wife needs to do some work, she needs to do some work on the abandonment and dealing with some of her past issues, because it's not going to get better along this path. And you can't do the work for her. As much as you want to, you cannot get in there and fix those old wounds. This is something that she's going to have to take an active role in fixing herself. So get away for a weekend. Have a little staycation, even if you guys just go to a little local hotel and just stay there for the weekend, a little local hotel with the buffet that you guys can eat your breakfast and really spend some time remembering why you all got together, and having some very deep, meaningful conversations. I'm getting the feeling that you have not really, that you've touched the surface with talking about your discomfort, but that you really haven't put it in terms, that you really haven't opened up to her in such a way that will alleviate a lot of these issues. I'm getting the feeling that you're not really having deep, open conversations, like really bearing it all. Because let me tell you, the direction that you guys are heading right now is towards divorce. And it's going to be a very long and bitter divorce if you don't really jump on top and get on top of this right now. That it's really going to turn into a very ugly situation where, you know, you two are going to break up and come back together and break up, and it's going to be very bitter and very acrid, and just it's going to be a painful situation for everybody involved. So to avoid all of that, I want you to really open yourself. Listen, you got married to play for keeps. So open yourself and have a real conversation with your wife about what's really going on inside of you. Okay?
All right. I definitely need to do that because I haven't been doing it. I've been trying to, keep everything internal, and that's not good for a successful relationship.
Right. That's the feeling that I'm getting. I'm getting the feeling that it's now or never. I'm getting the feeling that you really need to put your pride aside, and instead of doing the thing that men normally do, kind of keeping things inside, I'm getting the feeling that you need to go the opposite way with that, and that you really need to dive into this relationship, roll up your sleeves, and realize that if you don't do this work now, that if you don't really bear it all, because listen, this is your wife. This is your wife. This is not a girlfriend. This is not somebody you're dating. This is your wife. And you need to be able to have a deep and open conversation with your wife. There should be nothing that you can't tell your wife. This is your life partner, your teammate. And so let that down, take that shell and take that armor off, and really have a conversation with your wife. I get the feeling that your wife is going to need some counseling, and that she's going to need some therapy to help her work on some of those issues, and that she's going to not want to go to therapy, and that she's going to have to make a decision between really fixing her issues or losing this relationship. So that's what I get. That's what I get. And so someone inside the room is saying that mediation is good. I don't know if they meant meditation or mediation. Oh, that's Ebony Empress. Hi, Ebony Empress. How are you? So she's saying that mediation is good, but I don't know. Mediation is when you involve an outside party to mediate the relationship, and I have a feeling that the wife really needs to get some self-work done, and that you two need to have some marriage counseling done so that you two can learn how to be in a relationship with one another. I'm getting a feeling from you that there's some parental relationship issues that took place in your life as well, and so that you both really need to learn how to be in a relationship with one another, how to be husband and wife to one another in a healthy, functioning relationship. Okay, my dear?
I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking time out and talking.
Okay, my dear. I love you.
All right. Love your show. Have a great one.
Okay, bye-bye.
Advice Hour with Tanya. Media's #1 big sister.